How's it going, guys? This is Chris Time. Welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, I am not in my Honda Civic Type R at the moment. So I'm actually in a Honda Accord because we're going to be doing some things to this car. Let's go. So this is the stock bumper of the Accord, as you can see right here. For the exhaust tips, they're like a rectangular sort of tip. But like if you look right here, these tips aren't even connected. So this is more like a beauty cover for the exhaust. So for this installation, we're going to be installing a diffuser as well as a light that will connect to the turn signal, so that when you use your turn signal, this light will also illuminate as well. So this is what comes out of the box. So we have the splitter itself right there, some exhaust tips. These are the pieces that attach to the bumper to make it have like a more aggressive and more wider look. But basically this is all what's included in the package, and the box looks like this. The first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking off the bumper, and in order to remove the bumper, there's a bunch of clips that we have to take off on the bottom here. If we pop open the trunk, you're going to see this hex screw right there, which you need to remove. So there's one on each side, and once you remove all the clips and all the hex screws, then you're gonna have to go over here because the bumper is connected to the fender. So there's gonna be a bunch of clips here that we need to pop off, and then right here there is a Phillips screw 1 and 2, which we need to unscrew. So we got all the clips off, as well as these 2 Phillips screws on each side. These plastic screws right here that are near the wheel well are a pain to get, so watch out for that. But the rest of the plastic screws we got rid of, and now we're gonna be taking off these hex screws, so 1 and 2. That's good. So you see how there used to be 2 Phillips screws right here on the side? Now if you go right here where the bumper meets the fender, if you take this tab and move it, you'll see the Phillips screw.
Yep, we can see it from there.
Okay, looks like that. And now we can remove the whole bumper. Just take it on the side and then pull. And then this whole thing should just pop right off. Ooh. So it should pop right off. Let go. Okay. There you go. This down. There you go. Bumper is now removed. So now that we removed the bumper, so the first thing that we're probably going to be installing is these rear reflector lights. So as you can see, we have the left reflector here and then the right reflector here. There are 3 Phillips screws which we need to take off. 1 here, another one here, and then another there. So we're going to be doing that on both of the reflectors so that we can remove it from the bumper, and then we'll be installing the new reflector. Depending on when you're installing this, this bumper is super dirty, So what I suggest doing is, before installing anything new, is to just give it a quick wipe. Make sure that the surface is clean. That way your new diffuser and reflector won't get scratched from all of this salt that's left behind. Here is a side-by-side comparison. This is the stock ones, and then this is obviously the new one. And as you can see, there is wires which we're going to be hooking up later on, because like I said earlier, this is a functional reflector light. Unlike this one, this doesn't do anything. But now that we got the reflectors installed, next we're going to be moving on to the exhaust. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this and that off, because these are the 3 bolts that are holding this onto place. So grab your socket wrench. This is a 1132. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen this up. So after we got the exhaust tips off, we went ahead and assembled the diffuser. So what we basically did was we screwed in these exhaust tips. Now these aren't going to make the car any louder, because like it's pretty much just tips. Basically the stock tips, but they look different. And then we have a bunch of 3M tape here, which we're going to be attaching to the bumper. Just have to make sure that it's lined up correctly. And these holes right here, it looks like we just have to put in a bunch of push pins, which I'll be showing you guys in a little bit. So let's go ahead and put this diffuser onto this bumper. So while we're installing the diffuser for the rear bumper, we also have some visors for this Accord. Even though we don't have the windows tinted, it's still fine because it matches the chrome that we have on this car. So this is a genuine accessory from Honda that we got from PRL. And this is what the box looks like. So if we open it, this is what we have. So this is basically what it's gonna look like. It makes the car look wider, in my opinion, because that's what I have on both of my cars. And I prefer to have these on because it just adds to the styling. And these visors already have 3M tape on them. So all you gotta really do is just clean your trim off and then stick this on. Easy. So what he has here is alcohol he's spraying onto a microfiber towel, and he's just going to be wiping the trim off where the visors are going to be stuck onto. That way, if there's any dirt or anything that's on the visor or on the trim, then the visor would stick on properly. So since this already has tape, what I'm going to be doing is just peel this off. You're going to make sure that you fold this like that. Don't peel it completely off on both of the sides. So just go like this on both sides. Once you do that, you can go ahead and align it on your door. So what I like to do is I like to take my finger and make sure that it's aligned with this trim. Make sure you don't really touch it because you don't know how dirty your fingers are. So that's pretty much lined up there. So once it's lined up, you're gonna go on the other side and make sure that side is also lined up. So once you know that they're lined up, you can then push them on like this. And now here's why you wanna keep these folded. That way you can make adjustments. So you wanna make sure that everything is lined up over here on both sides. Once you confirm that everything is lined up, then you can start pulling on this tab right here. That looks good. All right, and go ahead and pull this. All right, guys, so this is the result of the window visors. So it's sitting nice and flush. The only thing I guess that I noticed is that this one's a little bit short for the rears. So it's short back here, and then it's also short up here or on this side. So it doesn't quite fit the car perfectly, but it's barely noticeable. It's only if you really go up close and see that right there. But other than that, it looks nice. And then this is the car without the visors. What do you guys think? And I'll show you guys with the visors. All right, guys, so we got the bumper here. Now make sure you get the wire for the reflector so that we can connect it to the turn signals. So don't forget about the wire if you want this to be an actual functional reflector light. You're gonna have to get access to your taillights. And to get access to your taillights is you just take this cover off right here. You just pull it off. Just like that. Then you're gonna see two Phillips screwdrivers, or two Phillips screws. You just so once you unscrew these two, you just pull this to pop the taillight off. And if you go over here, this right here, this tan looking bulb right here is your turn signal. So you're gonna follow the wire, and the wire actually leads right here. So this is what you're gonna be taking off. And all you have to do to take it off is if you were to squeeze right here and then pull, then this wire, which comes with the whole package, you plug in each end. So you're gonna take this, plug it in here. So this goes into here. Make sure it clicks into place. Then you're gonna take the other side and plug in right here. All right, so now you're left with this wire right here, and it's this wire that connects to the reflector. So if you were to pull this, take the wire from the reflector and plug it into each other. Make sure it clicks into place, just like that. And before installing this whole thing, you're gonna want to unlock your car, see if this works. Okay, so it does work. Once confirmed that it's working, you're gonna go ahead and put your taillight back on. So the taillight goes into this. So as you can see, 1 and 2, you just push into these holes right here. Make sure it's aligned. Give it a little tap. Make sure you take your wire and just put it out like that. Go ahead and screw this back on. Alright, so now that it's connected, you're probably wondering how we're going to be hiding these wires. Well, there is a cover, so when we're done installing these wires together, we can just put the covers right on top. That way we're not going to be seeing these wires. Alright, let's put the bumper back on now. I went ahead and drilled it onto the bumper like that. And then we put 2 screws there just in case. Just want to make sure that the splitter stays on if ever something happens. And then that's what it looks like over there. Alright guys, so this is the final result of our whole installation. So as you can see, we have the window visors up. Now the owner of this car already did a splitter in the front and then a custom made Honda badge, which is a carbon fiber badge, which looks really nice, especially with this San Marino red. They made the carbon fiber match the paint almost. If we go over here, we can clearly see the visors. Now, like I said, this car is not window tinted yet, so that's something on the owner's wish list that they might do to this car pretty soon. But other than that, it looks clean with the window visors on the car. And then if we move our way towards the rear, man, that rear looking fresh. Look at that. The diffuser's on, and now the car looks a lot more aggressive compared to the stock rear bumper. The only thing that this car needs is probably a black spoiler of some sort, either a duckbill or like a wing, probably more of a duckbill or ducktail, to like complete the look on the back, and maybe get like some tail lights back here, some custom made ones, or even if they smoke this out, it'll look a lot more nicer. But in my opinion, this splitter adds a lot more style to the boring look of the Honda Accord. It kind of makes it look a lot sportier. Now the only thing we didn't install was there's actually a rear brake light that goes in the middle right there. We did not install that only because we didn't want to drill a hole in the bumper to install this. So we went ahead and left it out, but that's fine. I mean, you can barely notice that it's not there. So once we unlock the car, it should give us like a startup kind of thing. Then this is what the car looks like with the lights activated. So every time you use your hazards or turn signal, you get like a sequential effect on the rear reflector lights. So a couple of things that I want to mention. So you see how there's a big gap right there? The tape failed to stick onto the bumper, so that's kind of detaching, while the centerpiece right here, it's still intact. And then same thing for this side, the tape is kind of coming off. You can't really see it on camera, but like you can see that gap between the diffuser and the bumper, so it's not completely on. What I'm thinking is we might have to drill this in somehow, so that requires us to make a hole in the bumper, which we're trying to avoid. So I guess we're gonna leave it like this for now. It is being held on the bottom because we did drill holes on the bottom so that this won't fly off anywhere. but that is something to point out. I actually like working on the Honda Accord because we're trying to make it look different. Because at the moment, it looks like every other car out on the road with its sedan styling. Now, it is a good looking car stock, but like I said, it just looks like an everyday sedan. So, you know, I'm trying to make this luxury looking vehicle from Honda look a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, if you guys like this video, hit that like button, and I want to hear your feedback, so comment down below. Anyways guys, that about wraps up this video. If you did enjoy this Honda Accord content on the channel, be sure to hit that like button and comment down below what you guys think of this video, or if you want any future videos that I should be posting on the channel. Thank you all for watching. This is Chris Time FK7. Peace.